So Carol Gale, special D events. I quite like that. Let's start with you and hear a little bit about you, where you're located, how long you've been in business, what kind of clients you serve.
Sure, great. Heather, nice to be here today and thank you for having me. So, Specialty Events is my company. We are an independent meeting planning company and Detroit DMC, so based in the Detroit area. We serve a diverse group of clients, so everything from foundations, academia, corporate, nonprofit, and we've worked in all 50 states. So, real wide variety. Unlike Paige, we don't specify in a specific industry. And I founded the company 30 years ago. And probably our most recent significant change is that we moved from a brick and mortar office to work from home in April of 2020.
Nice. And how do you like it?
I'm not sure yet.
I like that. I think that was honest. That was very
Yeah,
honest. That's
yeah.
good. I'll ask you another question about your business, but what do you like about it? What do you not like about it very quickly?
So we had thought about going to a remote company before COVID, and we actually decided at the last minute, no, we were going to stick out a little bit longer. So it wasn't like this wasn't on the radar, but as an employee of my company, I love being able to work from home. But as a leader, I'm still trying to figure out how to build culture when we're not together very often. Now, unlike some other industries, as planners, we get to see each other at events all the time. So there's some of that, and there's camaraderie. But on the day to day, it's the jury's still out.
Yeah, I think that's very fair. And I think culture and building that culture is going to be an issue for all of us. And as that hybrid model showed, what does that 35% look like? And how our industry is going to adapt to that. So I'm going to open with the same question that I asked the other Paige. What's the biggest challenge to your business right now?
Um, so we've all heard the phrase drinking from a fire hose, right? I feel like in my business, in my company, we are drinking from a fire hose, but standing on a ladder while we're doing it. Because we have more business at the moment than we can handle, but our ecosystem is really precarious, right? Our suppliers are stretched and people are working so hard and so many hours. Yes, there's still supply chain issues. And oh, by the way, as Howard mentioned, there may be a recession around the corner.
Right.
So, that ecosystem is very fragile. And as planners, we're always about, creating stability and order. And so my biggest challenge is really trying to create that in my company right now with the ecosystem being what it is.
Right. And how do you look at creating or managing those client expectations? So that's your company and how you're managing that. But when clients start to, obviously all these other factors are working on them as well, supply chain, et cetera. How do you manage their expectations knowing they still want perfection on time, on budget? What are some of the techniques that you use?
Well, it's interesting. We've had this conversation a lot lately because certainly as we work with suppliers in our industry and others, we are told sometimes, I will get this to you on this date. I cannot do this today. It will be, Thursday. But I don't think in our industry we've ever, I mean, at least in planners, we don't say that. We don't do it now. We find a way to make it happen. And so for the moment, that's what we're doing. We haven't been able to say those words that, and you certainly can't say I'm working on another client's event. That's just not an option, you know. Whereas at least with a
Yeah.
corporate client, if you manage 5 events for your company, they know, okay, you've got this and this coming up, but we don't have that option.
No, I always say it's like dating around. We do it, but we don't want to tell the client that. They don't want to hear it.
Right.
So, and yeah, and I find the same thing. It's how do you in the project management, PMI, the triangle of quality and cost and time. We don't have the time part of that triangle. That goes away. So to me, that's why we have one of the most stressful job occupations because time is no longer a malleable thing for us.
Right.
One of the things that you mentioned when we were speaking before, and I know we emailed about it briefly, which is why I'd like to ask you, is what areas of growth or change do you see in your business and in our industry, or that you'd like to see?
Yeah, so I really think that it's important for our community of event planners to better represent the audiences that we serve. If you look around, most meeting and event planners are skew white and female, and our audiences don't look like that, right? They're much more diverse. And I think that there's a lot of work that needs to be done. We need to take a hard look as to, are we being inclusive? What can we do to encourage more people of color and faith to be part of our world? And I don't have the answers, but I would love to be part of that growth and be part of any sort of industry conversation. If anybody out there wants to start up a task force or a work group, I would love to be part of that because I think that's very important. It's the right thing to do, and it's the healthy thing to do for us as an industry.
Yeah, I would agree very much so. Thank you, Carol. I know we're going to bring you back when we bring back all the panelists. And right now, you have people agreeing with you in the chat. So, and I definitely agree with you. So, if there's someone out there who wants to start this task force, knows about that, drop that in the chat. I mean, I think this is something that we all need to be aware of and think about.